role in the regulation of gene expression with respect to its role in the formation of cyclic AMP cap complex. You know that this cyclic, if the level of glucose is higher in the bacterial cell, there will be lower level of cyclic AMP in the bacterial cell. There exists a correlation. Between the level of cyclic AMP and the level of glucose in the bacterial cell. If the level of glucose is higher, the level of cyclic AMP will be lower. Okay? And if the level of glucose will be lower, the level of cyclic AMP will be higher in the bacterial cell. And you all know it very well that the catabolic activator protein is already present in the bacterial cell. Catabolic activator protein does not require the presence or absence of glucose. Rather, the catabolic catabolic activator protein is always present in the bacterial cell. And if there is presence of cyclic AMP, the cyclic AMP will combine with the cap protein to form the cyclic AMP cap complex. And when it will be possible? When there will be lower level of glucose. As the level of glucose will decrease, the level of cyclic AMP will increase in the bacterial cell, and the elevated level of the cyclic AMP in the bacterial cell will lead to the production of cyclic AMP cap complex. And this cyclic AMP cap complex has its own binding site located at the promoter region prior to the binding site of the RNA polymerase. Okay? So here this cyclic AMP cap complex at first binds at the region on the promoter region meant for it. And when will it be possible? I have already described that if you provide the bacterial cell E. coli with the equal amount of lactose and glucose sugar, okay, what will happen? The bacterial cell will not utilize the lactose until and unless each and every molecule of glucose is consumed. Why it is so? You can explain it. Because the enzymes meant for the utilization of glucose is always available in the bacterial cell, because the enzymes for the glycolysis are the enzymes encoded, the genes which encode the enzyme for the glycolysis are the best example of constitutive genes. And you know that the constitutive genes, which are also known as the housekeeping genes, express themselves regularly without any interference. It doesn't matter whether the glucose is present in bacterial cell, or whatever be the level of glucose in the bacterial cell, or whether the glucose is totally absent or totally present, or in the bacterial cell. The presence or absence of glucose has nothing to do with the level of the enzymes required for its utilization, because the enzymes are inducible enzymes. So if the bacterial cell has already the enzymes for the utilization of glucose, why the bacterial cell will use lactose at first? This is the reason that bacterial cell will not make any extra effort to synthesize to encode the enzymes for the utilization of lactose until and unless each and every molecule of the glucose is consumed, because it is very easier to utilize the glucose by the bacterial cell because of the presence of the enzymes meant for it. But if the bacterial cell when the bacterial cell will have to utilize the lactose sugar, the gene of lac operin will be required to express. So when as the level of glucose decreases, why the level of glucose will decrease? Because the glucose is being consumed, being used in the process of glycolysis. So as the level of glucose will decrease in the bacterial cell due to its utilization in the process of glycolysis, what will happen? Thus, level of cyclic AMP will increase in the bacterial cell, and as soon as the level of cyclic AMP will increase, what will happen? when there is proper amount, proper level of the cyclic AMP in the bacterial cell, they will combine with the cap catabolic activator protein to form the cyclic AMP cap complex. And this cyclic AMP cap complex binds at the promoter region prior to the binding site of the RNA polymerase. Okay? And this binding of cyclic AMP cap complex will facilitate the binding of RNA polymerase for the initiation of transcription of the structural gene 1, structural gene 2, and structural gene 3. And when each and every molecule of glucose will be used up, the genes of the lac operin will be expressed, leading to the production of three very important enzymes, which I have already described. And these enzymes include the beta-galactosidase, lac permease, and transacetylase. And of these three enzymes, the first one is very important. The first one, which is known as a beta-galactosidase. This beta-galactosidase enzyme brings about the catabolism of the lactose sugar into the glucose and galactose. You know that lactose is a disaccharide, and the lactose is broken down into one molecule of glucose and one molecule of galactose. And galactose and glucose are interconvertible. So the lac operin genes, which are the SG1, SG2, and SG3, are expressed to form the polycystonic mRNA, and that mRNA is translated on the bacterial ribosome to produce the polypeptide chain, which forms these three enzymes. And as soon as these three enzymes are synthesized, the lactose present in the medium of the bacterial cell are taken up inside the bacterial cell, and it is catabolized to produce the glucose and galactose. And you know, after all, the glucose cannot directly be utilized. Rather, the lactose will have at first to undergo the breakdown into the glucose and galactose. And finally, the glucose molecule enters the glycolysis, and galactose also gets converted into glucose, and it is also used by the process of glycolysis. So in this way, you know that the primary substrate is always glucose. Whether you feed the bacterial cell with the lactose, maltose और सुक्रोज, आप बैक्टीरिया के सेल के मीडियम में या तो लैक्टोज दे दें, या माल्टोज दे दें, या सुक्रोज दें, वो डायरेक्ट उनका यूटिलाइजेशन नहीं होता है. पहले उनका कहाँ कन्वर्जन होगा? पहले उनको ग्लूकोज में बदलना होगा, और ग्लूकोज का ही ग्लाइकोलिसिस होता है. तो अगर बैक्टीरिया के सेल में अगर ग्लूकोज और इफ द बैक्टीरियल सेल हैज both the glucose and other disaccharide like maltose or lactose and sucrose, it is the glucose which is utilized for the first time, and then when the glucose is consumed, the other types of disaccharide like the lactose, maltose, and sucrose, whatever you feed the bacterial cell. So when each and every molecule of glucose is used, what will happen? The lactose will be utilized. And for this process, when there is a lower level or there is absence of the glucose in the bacterial cell, what will happen? The level of the cyclic AMP will be higher in the bacterial cell. And what will be the benefit of this elevated level of cyclic AMP? This cyclic AMP is required for the production of the cyclic AMP cap complex, and that cyclic AMP cap complex is required for its binding at the promoter region prior to the binding of RNA polymerase. Where at first cyclic AMP cap complex bind at the promoter region, and then the RNA polymerase binds, and when the RNA polymerase binds, the transcription starts, leading to the formation of polycystonic mRNA. So in this way, cyclic AMP has a major role. Cyclic AMP has a major role in the regulation of gene expression, particularly the expression of the inducible genes. Because as you know that the lac operin genes are inducible genes, they are not repressible. So in this way, the cyclic AMP plays a very important role in the regulation of expression